Welcome to my channel Learn with Dr. Shweta.
Hello everyone. In today's video, let's know what are the common errors in use of articles and how we can avoid them. So, articles are of two types, indefinite and definite. A and N are the indefinite articles and the is a definite article. So, first let's see where you can use N. N is used before words beginning with vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U are called vowels and rest others are consonants. It's important to note that it's the sound of the word that should be vowel and not just the letter it starts with. For example, an apple, the sound of A is a vowel. An egg, the sound of E is a vowel. An owl, the sound of O is a vowel. Next is before words beginning with silent H. In some words, the letter H is silent, meaning the word starts with a vowel sound. In these cases, we also use N. For example, an R. So here H is silent, so it sounds like it starts with the vowel O. An honorable man. Here also H is silent and it sounds like honorable. An heir. H is silent, so pronounced as heir. An honest man. Again the H is silent, so it sounds like it starts with O. So in these cases, we are using an instead of A. Next is F, H, L, M, N, R, S and X are letters that are not vowels but begin with vowel sound. So in such cases, an is used instead of A. For example, an MLA. The abbreviation M is pronounced as M, starting with a vowel sound. An FIR. The abbreviation F is pronounced as F, starting with a vowel sound. An X-ray. The letter X is pronounced as X, starting with a vowel sound. An NCC officer. The letter N is pronounced as N, starting with a vowel sound. An SP. The letter S is pronounced as S, starting with a vowel sound. An LLB. The letter L is pronounced as L, starting with a vowel sound. Now let's have a look on the use of A. So the indefinite article A is used before words that begin with a consonant sound. It indicates a single item, person or concept and is used in various contexts. So now let's break down its uses. So A is used in sense of one, meaning a single unit. For example, he could not speak a word to save himself, meaning one single word. He could not speak one single word. Next is with the word one. So even though one begins with a vowel letter, it starts with the sound of W, one. Therefore, we use a. For example, a one-man show, a 1 rupee note. Next is before words beginning with consonant sounds. So, a is used before words that start with a consonant sound regardless of whether they begin with a consonant letter. For example, a boy, a box, a dog. Next is with vowel letters having consonant value. So, there are some words that start with a vowel letter like U or E have consonant sound when pronounced. In these cases, we use a. For example, a university, a unique article, a European language. Next is with units and rates. So, a is used to indicate a rate or unit, often meaning per. For example, he earns rupees 500 a month, meaning 500 per month. Rice sells 70 rupees a kilo, meaning 70 rupees per kilo. Next is in exclamatory expressions before singular countable nouns. So, a is used in exclamatory sentences to emphasize a singular countable noun. For example, what a pretty girl, how sunny a day. Next is, a is used when two subjects or articles are thought of as a single unit. For example, he was ready with a cup and saucer. Cup and saucer together as a set. A cigarette is made of paper and tobacco. So paper and tobacco are components of one cigarette. Next is, a is used with certain expressions of quantity. So a is used in certain expressions to indicate a quantity. For example, a lot of, a dozen, a great deal of, a couple of. Next is, a is used with a person's name to indicate that the person is perhaps unknown to the person addressed. So, a can be used with a person's name when referring to someone unknown. For example, a Mr. Roy is at the door, meaning someone named Mr. Roy unknown to the speaker. Next is, a is used with a special meal to celebrate something or in someone's honor. So, a is used before a meal to indicate that it is special, often organized for a specific purpose. For example, I called my friends to a lunch to celebrate my success. Our dinner was arranged to welcome the principal. So, in both the sentences, there is a specific purpose. Next is, a is used to make a common noun of a proper noun. So, a can be used to transform a proper noun that is a name into a common noun indicating that the person has qualities of the well-known figure. For example, this man is a second Newton, meaning he is as brilliant as Newton. A Daniel came to judgment. Here, a Daniel refers to someone with wisdom like Daniel in the Bible. Now let's know where you can use the. So the definite article the is used when referring to a specific person, thing or group that is already known to the speaker and listener, or when the context makes the reference clear. It also happens in several unique cases, so here are explanations for different uses. First is, when we speak of a particular person or thing already referred to. So, the is used when the person or thing being talked about has already been mentioned or is specific. For example, I dislike the fellow. So, in this sentence, the specific person is being talked about. Next is, the boy near the taps is my brother. Here also it is referred to a specific boy. Next is, when a singular noun represents a whole class, the is used. That is, when a singular noun can represent an entire category or species of something. For example, the mango is considered the king among fruits. Here referring to all the mangoes as a class. The ass is used as a beast of burden, referring to the species as a whole. One thing you should keep in mind that the nouns man and woman do not take the when referring to humanity in general. For example, man is the greatest of God's creation. We do not say the man is the greatest of God's creation. We just say man is the greatest of God's creation. Next is, the is used with names of gulfs, rivers, oceans, islands and mountains. So you can say that the is used with names of geographical features. For example, the Himalayas, the Indian Ocean, the Persian Gulf, the Red Sea, the Andaman Islands, the Brahmaputra River. Next is, the is used with certain books. So, we should always use the before the names of important or religious books. For example, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Bible, the Ramcharitramanas. The is used before musical instruments. So, the is used when referring to musical instruments in general. For example, the flute, the violin, the tabla, the trumpet. The is also used before the inventions. So, the is used before inventions, referring to them as a known concept. For example, I hate the telephone for its constant ringing. The television is a gift of science. The is used before parts of body. So, use the when referring to specific parts of body. For example, he was wounded in the leg. They hit him on the hands. The is used before religious groups. So, always use the when referring to groups of people by their religion. For example, the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Parsis. The is also used with names enforcing law. So, always use the before names of institutions or groups that enforce law or maintain security. For example, the police, the navy, the air force. The is also used with political parties. So, always use the before the names of political parties. For example, the Congress, the Janata Party, the BJP. The is used with names of aeroplanes, ships, trains, etc. So, when you are referring to named vehicles, you should use the. For example, the Air India, name of aeroplane. The Vikrant, name of a ship. The Rajdhani Express, the name of a train. The is used before the names of an empire, dynasty, or historical events. For example, the Gupta dynasty, the Old Stone Age, the First World War, the American Revolution. The is also used with clubs or foundations. So, the is used before the names of organizations, clubs, or foundations. For example, the Lions Club, the Ford Foundation. Next is the is used before common nouns denoting unique things. So, use the before nouns that refer to something unique. For example, the sun, the sky, the earth, the world, the stars. So, always use the before superlative forms of adjectives. For example, he is the best boy in the class. Prizes would be given for the most outstanding performances. The is used with ordinals. So, use the before ordinal numbers to indicate position in a sequence. For example, he took the first taxi that came his way. He lives in the 10th block. Our class is on the 2nd floor. Always use the before comparatives when comparing two things. For example, the more they get, the more they want. He is the cleverer of the two. The is also used before an adjective when the noun is understood. The is used before an adjective to represent a group of people or when the noun is implied. For example, the poor would favor him, meaning poor people would favor him. We must not shun the disabled, meaning we must not shun disabled people. This was all about the uses of articles. Thank you for watching the video, and for more such contents, please subscribe to my channel Learn with Dr. Shweta.